Hi guys. So today I just got a second course set, and I'm going to do the pros and cons of getting two Armada core sets as opposed to just having the one and then filling everything else out with expansions. As you may or may not know, as of the recording this, only the core set's available. Wave 1 is not out yet, but it should be coming soon. And Wave 2 was just recently announced, so there's a whole lot of really cool stuff coming for our Armada. And then later this week, Star Wars Celebration is happening in Anaheim, so that we are expecting a lot of news from Fantasy Flight related to all their products, mostly X-Wing, which is exciting, but maybe even more stuff on Armada. So I kind of couldn't wait anymore, plus I got a good deal. So first thing now is money. Money's a kind of a con. It's a little more expensive to get another core set as opposed to buying a Corvette, a frigate, and a Victory by themselves. But you get other things financially. So, the most obvious benefit is that you get them now, and so that's good. But the other obvious benefit is, now I noticed that actually my Victory here doesn't have the forward antenna on it. So cost is certainly a potential disadvantage, although it ends up being kind of close. Now if you add up the price of the expansions for a Victory, a frigate, and our Nebulon B frigate, and a Corvette, it's cheaper to buy those. And I'm going to buy those anyway because they come with some exclusives. But I figured I'd probably going to want 3 Victories. Although hopefully all the other Victories I get have the missing piece. Maybe Fantasy Flight will just send me the little antenna. Because I certainly don't need a whole another model to replace this, but we'll see. But there's other things you get in the core set besides just those ships. For example, you get the dice. Now even if you add the cost of the dice pack in, it's still cheaper to buy everything else separately. But you also get another range tool. A maneuver tool. You also get another range tool too. You get all the core components, all the tokens, all of that stuff. So that's also good. But I originally thought it was kind of silly to get another range tool, or a movement tool rather, until some people pointed out to me that if you have 2 movement tools, you can use your second one as you don't have to fully assemble it because it comes in all these little pieces. But you can just put the back part in, and then maybe the first one in, and now you have a 1 maneuver tool. Or maybe I just put 1 more in there and I'll make a 2 maneuver tool. Now this is ideal for a Star Destroyer. Now I don't have all that extra, stuff that's going to hit other ships. So I can have a 5 tool for the Rebel player because the Corvette can go up to 5. And then I have my 2 tool, right? Or I'm sorry, my 4 tool and my 2 tool. So you can configure it in multiple ways, and then you don't have all the excess. So that's certainly an advantage. Plus the replacement tools are pretty far off because they're, I think, still being printed right now. So that's definitely an advantage. You've got all your objective cards. That's not you don't need those anymore, and you're not going to need really duplicates of the squadron cards or the unique pilots. But in some cases, it's good to have a spare because you may lose one, or one may get damaged. I've actually lost stuff before from X-Wing, so it's always nice to have a spare. I lost a die even, and that's annoying. So you get your extra cards. That's you expect to get that. That's part of the ships. Extra command dials. That's going to come with the ships anyway. Now the Squadrons. I haven't even taken these out yet. I'm going to probably have to paint these, but the Squadrons, it's hard to put an exact value on this because it's just TIE Fighter and X-Wing Squadrons. But you have a lot more. And this is actually probably better for the Rebel player because, it's harder to do a swarm build of X-Wings because you only get 4 with the core game. And you're not getting a whole lot more with the Rebel Squadron. You're only getting 2 more squadrons of each type with the Rebel Squadron pack. So if you wanted to have a whole lot of X-Wings, which actually could be really awesome, this is a good way to go for that. Another thing that's another advantage is you're getting a damage deck. You already have a damage deck, but it's good to have a spare. Especially because this is a lot bigger than X-Wing's damage deck. You just lose one card, then your whole damage deck is invalidated. So it's a really good idea, especially for tournaments or whatever, to have a spare damage deck. I think that's a very good idea. If you want to play competitively, if you're only ever going to play casually, it's not a big deal. But if you're going to play competitively, it's a good idea to have a spare damage deck. And the other thing is that there are plenty of unique upgrades in the core set, but there are also some that are not unique. And one of my favorites is this enhanced armament card. Now, I think this only comes in one of the Wave 1 expansions, and I think it's the real large rebel ship. But there's a lot of these, engineering team, nav team, defense liaison, weapons liaison, a lot of these that it's good to have multiples of. And especially this one. This is my favorite one because it lets you add an extra red die to your left and right shots. It's 10 points, but that's really nice. Because the red die you can use at all ranges. So that's awesome. Plus you get your extra hardware that comes with your ships and your stands and all your squadron stuff. So very good idea, I think. And I got mine on sale. So that's, there's plenty of places. I got mine at Sci-Fi City, but Cool Stuff has them cheap. You can probably find Amazon has them cheaper. But then again, that still factors into the cost, because if you're going to get them on Amazon or any of the places that have them like 30% off, you're also going to get your expansions for 30% off too. My goal, after playing enough games and realizing we wanted more, was to have 2 core sets and then 1 of each of everything from Wave 1, and then maybe a second of the stuff that wasn't in the core set. So an extra Gladiator and the extra whatever the big balloony rebel ship is. I don't like the way that one looks. I don't know, but it looks like it's got some cool stuff. So maybe a second one of those too. But yeah, so that's it. I'm glad I got it. I have a second maneuver tool here. I've got a full set of dice now. I've got a lot more squadron options. And the other thing is I got a whole nother box too, which doesn't sound like much. I don't have, my collection isn't big enough, and it probably won't be big enough for a while to warrant getting the whole plano case or a whole bunch of stuff. I like to have my ships fully assembled when I put them in the box. I like to just put them in like this, all right, and then line them up like just kind of next to each other. And I may eventually make an insert to just kind of hold them in place. And I think up until Wave 2 comes, that's going to work for me. Once Wave 2 hits, especially with that Imperial Star Destroyer, I might not be able to do that anymore. And then I'll look into other options. But for right now, that's definitely the best way to go. You just have to be careful with the box. That's the way I choose to go, not necessarily the best. I mean, I don't want to have to, at the start of a game, I don't want to have to like assemble, okay, let me put all these cardboard shits in and put all these together. I like having everything together so I can just pull it out, set it down, let's go. But everybody's got their own preference. One more thing I'm going to show you. Some people complain that their ships aren't painted fully. They're rebel ships. And so I'm going to show you straight out of the box. Alright, so over here I have the new stuff, and over here I have my first core set. So this is my, originally, I have the antenna there on the Victory. This newest one didn't come with the antenna in the front. It just has the little hole right there. So I'll contact customer support for that, but see if they can do something about it. It's not really that big a deal. I'm not gonna complain, or FFG makes enough good quality stuff. I can understand a little piece coming off. Hopefully they'll do something. All right, now first I want to show you the Nebulon B that I got today. This is straight out of the box. There's really not much of the back engines are painted, but the back piece, the whole back section, doesn't have hardly any wash on it. And yeah, so, and then here is my Corvette as well, and that's not so bad. The Corvette looks all right. What I did with my original ones though is I put a wash on them. And so now this was my first one. Now this one has the wash, and then I'll have them kind of side by side here. And the backs are really where you can tell. See, there's a lot more detail in there. And this was just Nuln oil by Citadel. Usually people will mix it, like 50% Nuln oil, 50% water. I did straight Nuln oil, because I'm a Nulny kind of guy. And I did the same thing with my Corvette. I just did a little thinner. I made it a little drier when I was applying it. And it's not that, I mean, the Corvette really doesn't need it, but I did it anyway. And it does look good. It looks, you know, and that's fine because they're going to be two different ships, so it'll be easier to tell them apart also. Of course, I'll probably still have to mark them because the cards are going to look the same. Oops, that's not an escort frigate. But yeah, so that's basically everything I wanted to show you about having the second core set. Then of course the painting is just entirely optional, but that is, I guess, another advantage, in that you can paint them to make them look different. So I have no intentions of painting the Star Destroyers, however, because they look magnificent just the way they are. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff if you don't mind, and have a wonderful day.